Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rusty Joshi and today I'm up with the second video which is based on Bob Dylan and his famous song Blowing in the Wind. So first of all I want to say something about this two video. So this two video are part of our syllabus and also this is a classroom activity which is given by Mega ma'am, and in this video she suggests us to cover all kind of things because in syllabus we have Bob Dylan songs, and for that we were searching about Bob Dylan and his songs and all kind of thing, but we were not getting much information about this particular topic. So she suggests us to make some video which is based on this. So me and some of my classmates were also trying to do the same things, and so let's start. And in this video I'm going to talk about Blowing in the Wind's themes, song themes, and literary elements, symbols, allegory and motifs, and some quotation from this song. So let's start. First thing first, I'm going to talk about themes of this song. So there are so many themes. First theme is anti-slavery, after that anti-war, and after that protest and civil rights. So first theme was anti-slavery. Blowing in the Wind incorporates a melody sung by slaves in the spirit of freedom. So as we know that in World War time there were slavery kind of thing all over the Europe or America, we know that. And also Daniel Defoe trying to reflect that things in his novel Robinson Crusoe also. And this is also based on that kind of thing. In that novel he says that slave were they were cutted, their maliks, or we can say their these people, rich people, they cut their tongues because because of they cannot speak about their slaveries, and they cannot raise their voice. That's why they cut it down their tongue. We know that tongue is very powerful thing to be in human being. So they were cut it down their tongues because of because slaves never speak about them or raise their voice. And in this song anti-slavery were there. Poets also want to say that anti-slavery should be there, and war should be stopped now. And this song is a melody song and incorporates by slaves in the spirit of freedom. The slaves wants freedom. That's why this song is also important for slaves and slavery. The former slaves from Britain who made their way to Canada would often chant the melody that's called for no more octing of African American after slavery had been abolished in Britain. So this is the fact about African American and this slave people which were from Britain and all kind of all over the globe. The next theme is anti-war. In the song anti-war, in the song, Dylan addressed the senseless need for America to go to war and the proliferation of nuclear weapon. Or we can say this song Dylan wants to address the senselessness, or we know that war were senseless kind of thing, and people were dying because of this war, and their life were destroyed after this world war, we know that. And result of that world war is very disaster for everyone who participated in war or not participated in war. So this song is also thematically based on anti-war kind of situation, that poet wants to say that war should be stopped now, and weapons should be destroyed, and every kind of thing he were talking in his song. So that we can see he criticized the imperialistic ambition of the United States Army and the escalating Cold War. Dylan called for peace and understanding. So he called for peace because he wants peace in his own country. And Dylan was an American writer or poet or lyricist, though he writing against, or we can say he criticized America or United States, because he was very we can say he was the like he wants to cut it down, this kind of thing, like war and weapons and all kind of thing, and he wants peace now in his country. And next theme is protest or a civil right movement, anti-segregation. Blowing in the Wind was released around the time the civil rights movement was getting into public space and protesting for change and equality. As I mentioned earlier, also that in this song he talk about this. We can say inequality and discrimination about all kind of African American people and black people, and racism was also there. So he wants to say that every man has their own rights, every man has their own freedom, or they were very free from their own kind of like we can say that they were free from this kind of things, and they want their rights. And this in this when this song was released around the time the civil right movement were developing in America, and that's why he write this protest song. And Dylan was praised for bringing to life the pain and suffering of Black America in the powerful song, despite being a Caucasian man. So this is also a very best thing about this song and Dylan, that he was a very or he praised because of that song. He was raising his voice against this anti-slavery and this civil right movements and the freedom, and he fought for that black people, and he suggests that black people, or we can say African American people, that you have to or you should raise your voice for your own rights, for your own things. So he suggests that African American people, that you have to protest against this kind of very, we can say, very bad kind of situation which they were treated. uh, or soon after, people began using the song as a protest anthem. So after this song was released, this song was released in 1963, and Dylan write this song in 1962. At that time, sorry, at that time there were people who use, or they began to using this song as a protest anthem, and they were protesting for themselves and for that community, and also they were protest for their rights. So this song is very helpful, or we can say this song is very helpful to slave people or African American people who wants to protest, and this song became the protest anthem for that people. So here our theme were and so let's start with the literary elements. So now I am going to talk about some literary elements which were used in this song. First thing is speaker or a narrator, and we can say a point of view. This song is based on a third person narrative point, or we can say a point of view were used in this song is third person, and narrator was unnamed. As I mentioned earlier in the last video, that the narrator was a speaker. After that, form and meter. This song is a strophic meter, strophic form. or we can say this form. What is strophic form? Let me tell you that. This song is sorry this meter sorry this form is also called as a verse repeating form, and is this song is structure in which all verse or a stanza of the text are sung to the same music. This song has the same music. Next element we can say is metaphor and similes. In this song, there are so many metaphors were used as like sky, mountains, or road. There are so many metaphors this songwriter used. The road mentioned in the song are a metaphor for a person's life experience. As I mentioned earlier in the last video, that this metaphor of road is also suggest that metaphor of person's life experience. Okay, and the next thing is irony. Yes, and how many times must the cannibals fly before they were forever banned is incredibly ironic, as throughout all human history there has always been a war and it's never been banned. So in third stanza, or I think in third canto, he says that yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they were forever banned? So in this couplet, he criticizes, or we can say he wants to ironically say that throughout all human history there has always been a war and it's never been a banned. And we know that he this is this protest song, so he says that the war was never been banned. Genre of this song is folk song, or we can say a folk music of America. Setting is unnamed. Tone of this song is protest, energetic, not peaceful, questioning and angry as well. Protagonist or antagonist were very important, or very we can say very interesting aspect of every kind of genres or every kind of work. So in this song we also have a protagonist and antagonist. As you know that who is protagonist, sorry, what is protagonist and what is antagonist. Protagonist is a hero and antagonist is a villain. So normal human being is a protagonist here, and the war is antagonist here. Major conflict in this song: the conflict between normal human being desire to live peacefully and without being oppressed, and the desire of men to enslave, oppress, and start wars. So here are two conflicts between this normal human being and who desire war, or who have lust for war. This conflict is there in this song also. Like a normal people, they don't want war, or they want just peace. They want their freedom, they want free country. But at the same time there are so many people who want a war, and they will fight in that war and also they die, but they never care because their desire for war is very lustful, or we can say very powerful over this peaceful thing. So this conflict or major conflict is also reflected in this song. Climax of this song is naturally the chorus of this song. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind is the climax of the song. As we know that in every end of this stanza, three stanzas were there, and every end of this stanza has the same line, or we can say the same chorus of this song, that the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. So this blowing in the wind is the climax of this song. As we know that this Dylan wants to say that the answer is lied before us, we have to, or we should grab it now. So this is the climax of this song. And understatement, what is understatement? Let me tell you that understatement is an expression of lesser strength than what the speaker or writer actually means. or then what is normally expected. So understatement is that what is a writer wants to say, or what he wants or he trying to convey through their work. So in this understatement is the sheer anger the narrator was feeling was understatement throughout the song. As I said, as I also mentioned earlier, that this in this song he used the wise and peaceful voice of this music, and all of this we can say lyrics of this song is all very chaotic situation was also there, and the sheer anger, I mean, little bit of anger in the narrator's voice, or when he used some very ironically way of talking about this war, government, or and all kind of thing. This is the understatement. What narrator trying to convey, that this war kind of situations should be banned, or war should be banned, or people wants to live their life peacefully. So this is the understatement throughout the song. We can see allusions were used in the songs is to contemporary history, mainly the Vietnam War, which the writer was vehemently against, to the history of the United States, civil rights and slavery. In this song, allusions were very important part of this song, and in three stanzas he trying to allude. He trying to put some kind of allusion, like Vietnam War and man. As we know that first in first stanza he says that a boy can be a man after going to the world war. So this is also a very, we can say, a very shady kind of statement he gave. And also he wants to, as I mentioned, that themes were also like this anti slavery, anti war, and that's why this songwriter wants to convey and illusionize that this civil rights, slavery, and United States war were very shady kind of thing, or contemporary history, like Vietnam War was also there, and this kind of result of that war was very destroy, or we can say very disaster for everyone. So this is the allusion he used in this song. Personification is also a kind of figure of speech, and figure of speech were very helpful to you to understand the song. So personification is there. Cannonball are personified in the line, yes, and how many times must be cannonball fly. So this cannonball is also a personification full, we can say, a figure of speech which he used in his song. Hyperbole is also a figure of speech. The line before they were forever banned is a hyperbolical, because war is an integral part of humanity and will not and cannot be banned. As we know that this war is integral part of this humanity, and that's why he says that this war will never or will not be and cannot be banned. So in this hyperbolically he used that in this line, before they are forever banned. So he questioned also that this kind of war can be a banned, but as we know that this war is integral part of humanity, so it cannot be banned. And so this is some a literary element which were used in the song. So now let fast move on to the symbols, allegory, and motifs. Symbol is a very important part of any song or any poem. So in this song, poet, or we can say Bob Dylan, wants to symbolize so many things. So first symbol is the wind. The song highlights the injustice and cruelty in the world and suggests that the answer is within or among us. The refrain refers to a wind to symbolize various aspects of the solution to the social problems. Wind can be felt but is invisible in nature. Therefore, the answer to the issue is palpable yet elusive. It demands the world to view itself from the different perspective in order to overcome operations and wars. As we know that the wind is very, we can say, wind can be can be felt, but it is invisible. As writer wants to say that this answer is blowing in the wind. Wind is invisible, but as well as the answer is invisible, we can felt the answer, or we can say the answer is within us. Moreover, the speaker asserts that the answer is obvious and plain, it just needs careful observation. As I said that this answer is invisible, or we can say it is obvious kind of thing, that the answer is within us or among us, but we have to observe it very carefully, and if we observe it very carefully, then we can find the answer. After the symbol of roads, Dylan addressed the various form of oppression in our society that marginalized specific groups, or we can say some specific people which were a part of that group. Road symbolize the path towards freedom, liberation, and acceptance that minority groups have treated for the longest time. This road is a symbol of freedom, liberation, and also a free country. And this road is very important part of that slave people, and that we can say a specific group or minority people. This the speaker uses this road as a symbol of freedom. The speaker questions the populace on how many paths must be taken before they understand the pledge of other. He suggests that the shared humanity is a destination that should have been reached given the numerous effort. Or we can say he used this road as the destiny, and as one quotation is there in English that journey is very important part, but not the destination. You have to enjoy the journey, not destination. So in this also Dylan's want to say that road is very important part of that minority people, and it is very efforts of that people. They want peace, and they want freedom for themselves. So road is very important symbol for them. White dove, as I mentioned earlier, that also that white dove is symbolized as peace. So here he write that the song addressed the subject of warfare by asking rhetorically question to show the senselessness of human conflicts. White doves are symbolized of peace. As such, the speaker refers to the end of warfare in human civilization. Akin to the biblical reference, the dove signifies the arduous journey towards finding dry land to mark the end of art event. And in this case, the event is human cruelty and violence, whilst the dry land is a peaceful existence. Dylan embraces pacifism as the solution to the incessant wars throughout human history. So in this song, he also used the white dove as a peaceful. We can say a peace, a very he used this peace kind of word for white dove, through the white dove. And he also used this biblical reference of the dove signifies as the arduous journey in this Akin biblical figure, that he sent doves to find a specific dry land, because there is very flood, or there is a flood on earth, all over the earth. So he sent doves to find a dry land to stay or to exist, and this is the symbol of dove. The next symbol is the mountain and the sea. Dylan focuses on the structure and the construction that endurance, oppression, and warfare in our societies. The mountain symbolizes these bodies in both political and social spheres that contrary any progress or change. The speaker reference to the gradual corruption of the mountains as a metaphor for the destabilization of these concepts. So, therefore, the sea symbolizes the efforts and struggles of the people towards disrupting the state quo, and he acknowledged that it has been long overdue and it is about time that these structures are done away with. Or as I mentioned also, that the mountain and the sea, these two symbol very important symbol in this song. Mountain is the specific kind of a person, or we can say a government, who wants to stay strong, but their strongness will be end someday. And the sea symbolized here the effort or the struggle of that people who fought for themselves, or fought for their freedom, or fought for their rights. So this is the symbol of the mountain and the sea. Next or last symbol of this song is cannonball. The speaker incorporates a archetypology for a heavy, projecting to refer to war and human violence. As such, he used this cannonball as the very, we can say, a strong kind of powerful people, for powerful people. Or let me tell you what is cannonball. A round shot is solid spherical project without explosive charge launched from a gun. It's demonstrate it slightly less than the bore of the barrel from which it is the shot. Or I think it is simply says that top no goro in Gujarati. And as you know that what is top and what is used in the top, it is called as the cannonball. A cannonball is very strong kind of thing which is used to shot the army or enemy. As such, demonstrate the recklessness of warfare throughout human history without sign to coming to a halt. So this is very, we can say, chaotic symbol of this war, and it symbolizes the embedded notion of violence that has stirred human civilization for eons. The song was convinced during the song was conceived during a surge in anti-war demonstrations called for pacifism and peace. So this song was, as I mentioned, that this song was very peaceful. This song is not peaceful thing, peaceful song. This song is anti-slavery song, or we can say a protest song. So he says that the song was conceived during a surge of anti-war demonstration. At the time, acts of war were taking place across the globe, hence the illusion criticized the cruelty and bloodshed. As I know that this song is published or released in 1963. At that time, the war is going on, and bloodsheds were there also. Like Vietnam War was very crucial war for every human being, and that's why he says that the globe is illusionized, criticized the cruelty and bloodsheds. So this war is for protest, and so here all symbols were end. Now I'm going to talk about some quotation which were important for understanding the song. So now some quotations from the song couplets, or we can say the song is a whole quoted song, and very useful song for the protest. And it is very, we can say, very easy to understand this song. So first quote is, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. It is obvious thing that this should be a quotation, that the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. This quotation is by narrator speaker. On this quote, the unnamed narrator asks listeners several questions, like how many roads must man walk down before you call him a man. This is also a question. The narrator's response to them is, answer which is blowing in the wind. In other words, you could tell everyone that the answer to any kind of question, but no one would listen as they don't want to hear the answer, even if it is a readily apparent. Or in this song, narrator trying to question some particular person, or we can say particular community, that you have to give some answer, and he wants to say that this answer is blowing in the wind. And it is very, we can say this, it is very useful kind of thing, that answer is blowing in the wind. Or as I mentioned earlier also, that this wind we cannot see, we can feel, but it is invisible. As here, that answer is invisible, but you can felt the answer and you can find the answer. So here he used this. Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many peoples have died? This is also a quotation from the second stanza. Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The narrator of the song questions how many deaths it will take before people get fed up and say that the war should be end now. And enough is enough. He wants to say that enough is enough. Please stop the war. Please stop fighting. Please save the humanity. And he also suggests that how many deaths, he says that how many deaths it will take. And how many deaths, the narrator questions, will it take for the death? And deconstructs to ironically stop. And he says that ironically he says that this kind of wars should be stopped now. And he says that enough is enough, and people are getting fed up of this kind of situation, so war should be banned. Next quote is, yes, and how many years can some people exist before they were allowed to free? This quote is also by narrator. Yes, and how many years can stop some people exist before they are allowed to be free? This is also a question. This reference the enslavement and systematic enslavements and oppression of African American people, primarily in the United States throughout the 80s and 90s. 80s and 90s were very crucial kind of years when African people were slaves in America, and they were fighting for their selves, and fighting for that free kind of thing. And they says that this is the free country, but as we know that the slavery was there, and this should not be slavery kind of thing, and this is slavery, and that's why this is not a free country. The narrator questions how long and why oppression and slavery could go on. The narrator also questioned why it took so long for African Americans to be free, even though they are human beings worthy of dignity and respect. This is a question for racism, and also this is the question of minority people, and they were asked like African American people should be free now. They also are human beings, so they have their worth, dignity, and respect. They want respect from the other peoples, so that's why the question is there. A free kind of question is there. So he, throughout the song, he asks some of the question, and it is very it is also questioned in today's time also, that people or minority people were treated as the outsider, or we can say they treated as like they were not a human being. And so here are the quotation of the song. So this 1890s were very crucial kind of year, as I mentioned that. And based on this cruciality, or we can say a war kind of situation, there are so many movies also based on this theme. And for understanding this song better way, in a better way, you should watch some movies. Let me give you some movies name here, so you can watch this kind of movies. So thank you so much for watching this video. I think that it explanation will be helpful to you, and thank you again. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.